and thankfully this stack is a lot shorter than it has been. Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video we are going to be doing my first quarter book haul and unhaul. Alright, before I get into anything bookish, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below, as well as tell me in the comments what is the last book that you got rid of. Okay, so this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to be talking about the books that I have bought and also the books I've decided to get rid of in the last 3 months. Unhaul is far shorter, so let's just go ahead and knock those out. Most recent, So Sorry to Paige. Thank you again for buying this for me, but The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I read this for my booktuber recommends, where Chloe Frizzle picked some books for me. The setup of this is perfect for me. It definitely sounds like something right up my alley, but I just had such a hard time with the female main character here. I couldn't do it. I ended up DNFing. Thank you again to Paige, but I'm sorry, it's not staying on my shelves. It makes me sad when I look at it. Next is The Beauty Myth by Naomi Wolf. I tried to read this for my feminist reading vlog, which was on Women's Empowerment Day, and unfortunately I had a really hard time with it. First off, I think it's overwritten. Second, I will never like when an academic text does not cite its sources. Plus, the author just kind of came across like a conspiracy theorist, so this came from Half Price Books, and it will be returning to Half Price Books. I did read Lone Woman by Victor Lavelle. When did I read this? Oh, this was for the Jante's Inferno readathon, and I liked it well enough, but it's not a new favorite horror. It's not one I will ever reread. It was fine, so yeah, it's just not gonna stay on my shelf. Kind of same situation for 2 parts Sugar, 1 part Murder by Valerie Burns. I keep trying to be a cozy mystery girly, but I'm so freaking picky about cozy mysteries. I've come to the decision that I'm not going to completely write them off like I thought I was when I initially finished this one, but I am going to be really strict about what books I'm picking up in the cozy mystery genre. And this just isn't it. It's a little too silly for me. Pointless romance, and even the mystery itself, I felt like the author kind of gave things away really early on accident. And then Instinct by Jason M. Huff. Same situation as Lone Woman. I read it. It was fine. I was a little bit less of a fan of this one. Never going to reread it, so it's not staying on my shelves. So that's it for the unhaul, but let's talk about the books I have bought in the last few months, and thankfully this stack is a lot shorter than it has been. First off is Divine Might by Natalie Haynes. I had to pick this one up because it hits very similar things as Pandora's Jar did, which was my best book of last year. On top of that, I did read this for my feminist reading vlog, and I loved it. Super interesting. Had a great time annotating the crap out of it. Basically, Natalie Haynes goes through all of the different stories tied to the Greek goddesses and just expands upon them, talks about the feminism and the themes going on throughout all of those stories, the difference and how women are showcased in those, how those stories have impacted other stories moving forward. Loved it. It was so good. These are not in any sort of order. I just picked them out and put them in a stack. The Death I Gave Him by M.X. Liu. I read this as an ARC a while back, and I really enjoyed it. It is a locked room sci-fi Hamlet retelling. I really dug it. It also kind of has a queer romance going on. It's done in a very interesting way. My brother was kind enough to buy this for me for Christmas. It just got in a little late, but I love it. This cover is just so eye-catching. You cannot not look at it. I love having it on my shelves. Then I made the mistake of buying Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. I say mistake because I was planning to read this for a book club, the Horror Hideout book club, which I do want to do better about participating in. I told myself years ago that I am not allowed to buy books for book clubs because inevitably, whenever that happens, I won't read it or I won't like it. And this fell into the former. I didn't read it, unfortunately. I do still want to get around to it. It's following a woman who I believe is a stay-at-home mom and is sort of losing her identity, but eventually starts to think she is turning into a dog. I love horror with commentary, so definitely interested in this one. Another horror I'm very excited to read is The Invocations by Kristen Sutherland. I got the Evernight edition, which is beautiful. Oh my God. So we're gonna talk about this. I know I'm not the first person to showcase this, but it's stunning and I must show it off. Gorgeous end pages, I love them. And then this is the naked hardback. Isn't she beautiful? Stunning. This is one I really need to get to. I've heard a lot of positive things so far, and I want to present this baby on my shelves. She is beautiful. Then I had to go pick up Spy Family Volume 11 by Tetsuya Endo whenever it came out. Loving the series, so much fun. Spy Dad, Assassin Mom, telepath kid. Nobody knows the other person's identity except for the telepath, and then now they have a dog. It's silly good time. I love it. I'm not here for the plot. I'm here for the character vibes. That was a bookmark that I have in there that I haven't used yet. It's just gonna stay like that. These next 3 are actually some arcs that my friend sent me when she attended BookCon in New York. First off was Miss Austen Investigates The Hapless Milliner by Jessica Bull, Jane Austen cozy mystery. Literally, Jane Austen is the main character. I don't know how this one's gonna go. Allie grabbed it for me because she knows I like mystery stories, and I will admit, I'm a little intrigued. Jane Austen as the investigator. She also grabbed me Triple Sec by TJ Alexander. I have not read from this author, but I do have almost all of their books on my TBR. This one specifically, though, is polyamorous, in which there's this couple who end up meeting this really hot bartender, and what should have started as like a one-night stand ends up becoming more of a relationship. It sounds like a steamy good time. I can't wait. This one also came with a little bookmark with all their books, and they signed it. Finally, though, the one that I am still over the moon, so happy she grabbed me, was The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. I literally entered a giveaway that morning on Instagram for it and tagged her, and then she got me an arc. I'm so excited. I initially saw the author posting reels about this on Instagram, and that's what made me add it to my TBR. It's like honey magic, cozy fantasy, sapphic romance with enemies to lovers. And I've only heard positive things. I am so excited. Naturally, when one of my favorite authors came out with a new book, I had to grab it, A Tempest of Tea by 𝗖cie sais. This was actually a pain because all 3 bookstores near me where I tend to go didn't have it on release day. Luckily though, I have a wonderful boyfriend who ended up checking a bookstore near his job and found it for me. When I am filming this, I have not read this yet, but I am planning to this week. So basically, our main character owns a tea house, but at night it also is like a blood house for vampires, and then somehow a heist gets worked into there. I'm not really sure. I don't want to know anymore. I can't wait to pick this up. I also grabbed Mary by Nat Cassidy, which is supposed to be a Carrie retelling, but following a woman who is entering menopause, and weird stuff starts happening to her. That's all I know. I've heard fantastic things about this from everybody who has read it, so I need to read it. It's on my TBR for April. Here's hoping I actually get it read. If I remember correctly, I was having a rough day, and Josh and I went to Barnes & Noble, where I found Heart Song by TJ Klune, the 3rd book in the Green Creek series, which I initially read the indie versions of these, but they are being re-released and republished by Tor with these stunning new covers. I did go ahead and get the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which has the cracks. If you don't know, it doesn't mean a lot, but knowing, ooh, that hurts. Werewolf romance series with a punch you in the gut plot. That's all I'm gonna sell this as. Oh, and I guess also stunning writing. I think it was for Valentine's Day that Josh was kind enough to buy me volume 4 of Spy Family by Tetsuya Endo and volume 9 of Soul Eater by Atsushi Okubo. These are the 2 manga series that I'm currently in the middle of, and thank you to him because this allowed me to continue reading, and unfortunately this one, I don't know how, somehow I didn't have it. I had a bunch of the others, but I didn't have 4. Finally is another book that my brother bought me for Christmas, Beard in Mind by Penny Reed. This is the 4th book in the Winston Brothers series, which I didn't shut up about like at all in the last 2 years. This one follows Bo, who is definitely like the most charming of the brothers, a bit of a player, and also his new work rival, Shelley, who is OCD and very cold, but dang is there great sexual tension between these two. And I really like this one, especially for the OCD representation and how her mental health is handled. So good. So I can't wait to reread this entire series and annotate the ever-loving crap out of them. Thanks to Bob for buying me this, because now all I need is 6 and 7. Shockingly, this is a pretty small haul in comparison to what I had been doing the last few quarters, but I am actually sticking pretty true to my book buying bingos that I've been doing, where I only can buy a book when I make a bingo. It's been working out pretty well for me. Here's hoping it continues that way, especially because I will be buying many books in April. Okay, and on that note, thank you so much for coming to my channel today, y'all. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave me a beard emoji in the comments. I have all of my socials, as well as a few ways you can support me, linked in the description. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!